What is going on, guys? JNC Radio here, bringing you our NXT Takeover War Games 2019 review and recap.
Yes, and on a side note, the old band's back together. It's been a while.
Yeah, I guess he's back.
Yes, it's been a while. I've been dealing with, being sick and all that. The first time unfortunately, I just wasn't able to actually catch the last show. But last week, the original plan was for me to be on, but I ended up getting really sick, so that's why I wasn't on last week. But we're here now.
He's back today.
I'm back today, and that's all that matters. And we got a great show to talk about.
Absolutely. And once again, I'd like to thank our friend Bryant for helping out and helping filling in for those last 2 weeks. Greatly appreciated. Love having him on.
Yeah, that man knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's great. But tonight we witnessed a awesome show. No complaints whatsoever from me. Another phenomenal job from NXT and all the talent there. I guess we'll just get right into it. I don't want to give away like too much, like of course right off the bat, but I try to like give a little introduction. But of course it's Survivor Series weekend, starting out with the Takeover event, and then tomorrow night obviously will be the Survivor Series event.
It's like the
Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT
for the first time ever.
Yeah, so it'll be the three brands, I guess you could say, going at each other.
Yeah. I think now with how NXT is now,
you might as well consider it a brand at this point.
Yeah, might as well.
Especially if they're, but I could see them going in the direction where they, like for all the big four pay-per-views, they have NXT on, like they'll be probably in the Rumble, which I guess they could kind of say they always were in the Rumble match, but
yeah, because they would show up here. Solid like 5 of them would show up.
Yeah, but maybe we'll see like the titles on the line, or the NXT like world title or things like that, or maybe then like maybe Mania you'll see the NXT title on the line now.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they're still doing their Takeover events, so that's why I say Big Four, because
right.
There's no point probably in having them on every single pay-per-view if they're still going to give them their own shows.
Yeah, so then, I mean, Takeover is probably the best part of NXT, so.
Yeah, I mean, they never disappoint.
No, they never do.
Tonight goes along with that. So first we had a kickoff show match. Not really much to say about this, but we had Angel Garza against Isaiah Swerve Scott. It wasn't the worst match ever, but it wasn't like a lot of moves really didn't execute correctly. They tried to do some cool spots and tried doing some good things there. So I mean, I'll give them A for effort, but not everything really connected and didn't really seem to go as planned. So it wasn't I don't want to say like sloppy, but like it didn't seem like this went the way that they would have liked.
Things could have been executed better, but
the execution wasn't quite there.
Yeah. But they did what they could.
It was a kickoff show match, so this really doesn't have an effect on the main show.
Yeah, luckily it does not.
Although every now and then you get a pretty good match on here.
Yeah.
But of course, Angel Garza would pick up the win. I went ahead and gave this 2.5 stars.
I just gave it 2. It just goes back in the execution part, but
yeah, it wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst. Now on to the main card. Now that we got that out of the way, we saw the first ever women's War Games match, which saw Team Ripley versus Team Baszler. Team Ripley, of course, Candice LeRae. You had Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley,
Tegan Knox.
And Dakota Kai, as we thought it was going to be, or so they want us to think it was going to be.
Well, originally, of course, it was supposed to be Mia Yim, but during the kickoff show, they discovered that she was attacked from behind.
Yeah, and I guess we cut with how it was looking in the early scenes, like when it first had happened. Like, we kind of got the impression of who it was going to be, right, just from the way it was looking. But I guess what I didn't know was like how and when they were going to do it. When I figured, I mean, it would have only made sense for them to do it in this match and this night, but I didn't know exactly like when they were going to do it. But of course, the first entrance in this would be Candice LeRae and Io Shirai. They would start out in this, and then they would battle for the first couple minutes, and then next would enter Bianca Belair, followed by the captain Rhea Ripley. Then third would be Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion.
Here's the interesting part. Not to cut you off, but here's the interesting part. If you like to take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh no, you take it actually.
All right. So when we thought Dakota Kai was getting ready to enter the cage, she stops for a second, and she aggressively attacks her best friend Tegan Knox.
Yes, this was a great heel turn. It's executed perfectly. I think this could be the kind of like their, I guess you could say, female version of Ciampa and Gargano, and I think this could be the best feud between the women in NXT since Sasha Banks and Bayley. I think this has that much potential to do so, and I thought that was great. And then of course Tegan Knox would be taken out of the picture. Dakota Kai would turn her back on the team. So then it would become a 4-on-2 situation. So you'd see Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae fight their way through this match. They battle their way through 4-on-2 disadvantage. They sold this perfectly with the disadvantage and being outnumbered.
Yeah, despite it being 4-on-2, it was still great.
Yeah, this was absolutely amazing, and it was the first ever women's War Games match. I thought everyone involved did a great job. Kaylee Ray took plenty of good bumps throughout this thing.
We like to call those match MVPs.
Yeah, so she, for me, in terms of like all the bumps and all the everything that she took in this, I'd say that she, in a way, could have very well been the MVP of this one. Then they didn't do much with Ripley and Baszler a ton. I mean, they both did their parts and they both did great, but but they both are involved in matches tomorrow night. So I thought at the time that could be it. They were kind of saving them for tomorrow, but then when we get later in the show, that may not necessarily be the case in terms of saving people for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So but this is great. Of course, the team Ripley would pick up the win despite the disadvantage. I thought they did a really good job, just selling this whole thing and the storytelling in it. And I thought this is booked absolutely perfectly, and I this is a perfect match for me. First ever women's War Games match. This is a 5-star for me. This is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Actually, I originally had a 4 when we get in the beginning stages, but then looking back on it, I would actually give it a 5 as well.
Sometimes what it is with me in matches is I watch it and I have an initial reaction, an initial rating. And a lot of the time, if it's a great match, I'll initially catch it'll catch my eyes as being as a great match. But sometimes, I have to just really just think and fully process it before I get to reviewing it or get to giving my final thoughts, because things can I could think of things in a really great way, and I could think of it very highly, and then when it comes down to it. I may not think of it as highly, and I might change my mind completely. But this is absolutely perfect. I thought it was a huge success. Very happy to see these down the road. This was absolutely great, and everyone involved did their part. And thank you to them for.
Thank you for sacrificing your body for our entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it just had everything. It had the spots, like Io Shirai's moonsault off the cage.
It had the storytelling, and it was everything it needed to be, and beyond.
Yeah, and I would love next year for them to continue them doing women's War Games next year. Yeah,
this was a huge success. So perfect match, perfect way to start the show too. Yeah. Started with one, ended with one.
Right.
Next, we had a triple threat number 1 contenders match, which featured Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and Killian Dane.
This also, you would have even felt like it was a kind of a War Games. This was hard hitting, smash mouth.
Yeah, this is the best triple threat I've seen in a long time.
You got the perfect 3. In my opinion.
Yeah, this is great, and I read on Twitter while this was going on that some people had thought that they didn't really know how they felt about this. I actually thought that this was actually going to be pretty good all along, but it definitely exceeded expectations nonetheless. But yeah, Damian Priest, someone I definitely have a liking towards. I like everyone involved in this. Killian Dane, Pete Dunne, of course.
It is amazing how Dane has evolved himself
Yeah.
since
Absolutely.
Sanity. Me too. I am a huge.
Oh, you mean Killian?
Yeah, Killian Dane.
Uh,
Damian Priest. I am also a huge fan. Like his character is just badass to me.
it totally is.
And so
He's very skilled in the ring.
yeah, very skilled. Saw him do that suicide dive.
Yeah.
The Taker like dive.
Yeah, where he did it off of the corner ring post. Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously it's like a corner, but
yeah.
no, but yeah, because it looked like Pete Dunne was he was like chasing after him, and then next you know he does like the tope over the corner out Dane on the outside.
Yeah.
A lot of good counters.
Yeah, a lot of great counters. A lot of those you think the match is over, but it's not over, kind of thing. And at the end, obviously it was the right call going with
Pete Dunne. Yeah,
Pete Dunne,
because you can't do I couldn't imagine Priest or Dane having the match at Cole. Not under the circumstances. I figure you got to have the babyface go over in this, and Pete Dunne and Adam Cole. I mean, that's a perfect match. Perfect choice. But yeah, I thought this was great. I went ahead and gave this 4 stars.
I gave it 4.5. That's how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so 2 great matches to start the show. So then Pete Dunne's #1 contender. He will face Adam Cole tomorrow night for the NXT Championship at Survivor Series.
That could be a good match, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, I mean, on paper it's a great match,
yeah.
but we'll get to that. Next, we saw Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle. This will be Finn Balor's first match since returning, not only to NXT, but to WWE, I guess you could say. Pretty good match, I'd say. I liked it. It kind of started out very slow-paced. A lot of holds, a lot of submissions, grapples. But I think that was probably a good way of starting out. Start out kind of slow, then as the match went on, it definitely picked up and became a lot more fast-paced, a lot more we were expecting.
Yeah, again, that was very slow, but it's kind of like, I would say, like, get the ring, like feel out the ring. It's first match and since since it was like SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Since SummerSlam.
Yeah, first match since August then.
Yeah. Matt Riddle has martial arts, UFC.
Yeah, he's got
background.
the MMA background.
But yes, you're right. It did end up picking up. I do enjoy him using the 1916 a lot more.
Yeah,
that is devastating.
Yeah, that's a great move. Yeah, he did go for the coup de grace, but he wasn't able to connect with it because Matt Riddle would move out of the way. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good match. I hate doing this because it's like I don't want to say like it was the worst match because I mean like I don't want to say just because of the fact that it was still pretty good and I still liked it a lot, but it's just like this is just a great show. So I mean, there wasn't a bad match on this main card.
No, there really wasn't. NXT really with this show it really outdid themselves, despite it only being a minimum of 4 matches.
Yeah, which I mean, honestly, it's what made it good because then it was allowed everyone to have, like they were able to give time to everybody.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Which I think that's something that they on SmackDown when it comes to their pay-per-views should
do.
I think they should do that because I really don't think there's any point in doing 4-hour shows because I think a 7-match card is plenty.
Mm-hmm.
They try doing like these 10-match cards every single time, and I just think that's far too much.
Yeah, I don't feel like watching a 4-hour like Clash of Champions.
Yeah, like I don't think anybody has time for that. Like, I can make an exception maybe for the Big Four.
Yeah.
If you want to do a 4-hour Rumble,
yeah,
whatever, that's fine, I guess.
You got 2 Rumbles.
Yeah. So there's that, and then maybe you could talk me into SummerSlam.
Yeah, because second biggest
that's
show.
That's second biggest show, really. So
Mania, that's the biggest show of them all for them.
Yes,
so.
and that was perfectly fine being 4 hours. Now they tried doing